And here we go, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Starting 11. Your host, Paul. We have August, Skip, and we got Joe Anderson here. And we're going to talk today about what's going on in the world of football in EPL, champions, and a couple of rumors going on here. EPL, because the race is really tight, not just for the champion, but also for the qualifiers for the Europa League as well. So let's start off with EPL. So Man City is at 95 points and Liverpool's at 94. They got every game this Sunday is at 10 o'clock a.m. Everybody is going to play at 10. So we got the Wolves at Anfield and we got Man City over at Brighton. It's going to be interesting, boys. It's a Joe over there with the Red Bulls. So Liverpool is hurting. Uh, we'll get to that as well because of the fact that Salah and Firmino are not playing tomorrow against Barcelona. And I could see Firmino playing on Sunday in this game against the Wolves, but I doubt Salah will get cleared from the concussion for Sunday. Wolves are a tough team. That was one of the teams that I think I mentioned in the chat that I wanted to watch this season, and they fought hard in their seventh place. So I don't think we should sleep on Brighton either. Like I was telling Joe before, they're not going to lay down. They're going to want to play spoilers, be the ones like, hey, we beat Man City. We were the ones that kept them from lifting that trophy. If Liverpool pulls off a win over there against the Wolves, what are you guys' thoughts, Skip?
I mean, in terms of Man City and what they're doing, they're looking really strong coming up towards the end of the regular season. I think that they do have a tough test ahead of them with Brighton. As long as they kind of stick to their guns, they continue to like work the ball, move the ball, pass through Kevin De Bruyne, and I think if they keep using Sterling the way they're using him, they could easily get this win by possibly 2 goals by 2 goal margin. What do
You
you
know,
think, Joe?
Um, yeah, I agree with August on this one. I think Liverpool's they just came undone at the wrong time. You got
Yeah.
Salah's going down, Firmino's down, and I mean, if they can't play to either one of them, I don't see them having much of a chance. I mean, they probably should be able to pull out a win, but I'm not. I mean, that's not even a guarantee. That is never a guarantee, but
You don't
with
think you
Salah,
don't think Van you don't think Van Dijk can come to the rescue? Captain Van Dijk, the savior of Liverpool.
if we played in the box, we definitely do.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't see it happening. Like Paul said, I don't see Salah getting cleared for a concussion in like 3 days. I don't see that happening. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Firmino, I don't know. I mean, he's a great player to me. I don't feel like Firmino's really the best creator of his own shot, but I feel like he's good a player to me. But I mean, he's not. I mean, if neither of them's playing, I don't even know who's going to be starting for him. I guess like Ori would start maybe in this
Mm-hmm.
striker role, and then
Mm-hmm.
I guess maybe what's his name would start. Maybe Shaqiri would start for Salah. I guess that's what their starting 11 is going to be. So
Yeah.
I mean, I still have I got Man City winning the league. So as far as Champions League, uh, again, same thing. That things broke down. They broke down in the wrong time, and I think they're going to just pay for it. And so that's pretty much it, Paul. What's up?
Here's what I find interesting though is they have Daniel Sturridge right there on the bench, and then so what he did, what Klopp did, he started Jorginho. I can't pronounce his last name. He moved him from the middle up
Wijnaldum.
front. Yeah,
Wijnaldum.
to play
Yeah.
in the spot for it start off, and then he was like, oh yeah, he took him 30 minutes to adjust to that position. Buddy, if it takes that long, that's tough. It's tough to make the adjustments. You have Daniel Sturridge there. Why don't you just start the guy? He's struggling. I get it, but it's better than putting somebody off from a different position, trying for them to figure it out. 30 minutes is a lot, and they had chances to score too. You know, they missed their shots. I don't know. I think I think they gambled. They went all in on the Champions League, and I could see that. Now they have to try and see if they can at least win, come out with a trophy, but it's going to be tough because they're playing the Wolves. Wolves is not an easy team.
You're exactly right. I'm just looking at the lineups right now, and I mean, the Wolves just if they attack, I don't see Liverpool kind of withstanding too much. They've just been a solid team all year, and I also see Wolverhampton coached by Brendan Rodgers, the old Liverpool coach. So I don't think he's going to let up at all. I think he's just going to lean in and just go for the throat.
Yeah, there's
They're
the
done.
four. Yeah,
Liverpool's done.
those are 4 games that are good to watch this weekend. Are those two? And I think Man City's going to win it because all they have to do is win or tie. 'Cause I really don't think Liverpool's going to win this weekend against the Wolves. I mean,
One thing though.
What's
The
that?
one thing that Pep can do to screw the entire thing is to mess with the lineups. As when he messes with the lineups, Man City always tends to kind of falter in the first half. They kind of correct it towards the middle around like the 50th minute, but if they don't end strong, I could see Brighton, playing with them right up to the end.
I don't think he's going to because of the fact that they need to win
Better
something. They're going to need to win something. I mean, they're out of the Champions League. They need to come away with some kind of trophy, and English Premier League trophy is the best one to come out with. Now, side note on this one is I'm hearing rumors that Sané may be looking to get out, or they may be looking to sell him. Couple of things going on in the background with him and Sané. So,
I mean, he hasn't been played, so why not? I mean,
well,
he played anybody else.
The issues with Sané are more training ground issues. Last I read was that Sané was kind of barking at the coaches and more at Pep because they were all sitting waiting for him to come up with some kind of workout or tactical workout to work on it, which is kind of interesting. Like I get his point because I've been there before, but it's like you got to be careful, man. You're a bench player, man. You're good, but you're not starting
off the bench.
Yeah, man. It's like you're the last one to shit talking.
Yeah. He'll go. I mean, even if they sell him, he'll go somewhere and he'll be fine. Like, again, he shouldn't be barking at all. But like, he's young enough. What's he, like 22, 23? Like, I don't know why he stopped. I don't know why they took him out anyway. Did he get hurt or was he just like not in form or like I don't know what the problem was?
That's a deep squad, man.
Exactly. They have so many weapons.
I get it. I know he was starting at some point. I know it was him and Sterling on the wings, and now it wasn't Sterling and who's on the other wing now?
You got Gabriel de Jesus, you got Sterling, you got Aguero.
Jesus doesn't even start half the time. They always have Aguero up top by himself.
No, you have that team is loaded, man. Then you got Mahrez. You have Sané,
I think that's who's starting ahead of
the Burn.
Yeah.
You got Gundogan. You got Fernandinho. You got Silva. You got the other Silva, both David and Bernardo Silva. I'm like, that squad is deep.
Too much. Yeah.
You put Leroy in, when you take out like.
Well, I think that was the thing. It was because they had because they started Mahrez over him now. What it was. I remember he was starting and saw Mahrez strengthened now, which is messed up because Mahrez is supposed to be on Arsenal anyway. He's not supposed to be on there.
Salty. You meant
supposed to have him for like past like 3 seasons. Like we had this guy locked up for like $40 million, €4 million.
You know it.
Past 2 seasons. Past 2 transfer windows. It was ridiculous. Every time he's like, I want to be Arsenal. I want to go be a gunner. I want to do this. I want to do that. Now he dropped like 80 mil on him. We're just like, come on, man. Like, and we came away with Arda Turan. Like, come on, great. That's who we came away with. Arda Turan. He balled out for like half the season, and we bought him and overpaid.
Yeah.
Down on the bench, saw the field twice, and now he's gone. Like,
oh man.
And now we got Mkhitaryan. We're doing the same thing to Mkhitaryan.
Yeah.
The man came in, had like 3 or 4 great games, and then they're like, "Oh, all right, good job. Go sit down." And he was like, "What?" And like, go sit down.
Go sit down.
Him and Lacazette had such great chemistry for like those games. That was like mad hype. I'm like, yo, him, Lacazette, Aubameyang, all of them,
That was
like
a squad.
they're looking
On
good
paper,
together.
on paper,
Yeah.
yes.
Even Iwobi on the other side was coming out. Iwobi was
Alex
having a good solid.
Young.
Even he was having a solid year.
Joe, what if I
Like,
told you Emery does not know what to do? He always finds a way to mess things up.
He does look kind
I
of flustered on the
understand that.
sideline sometimes.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know I don't know what the problem is with him, but I think he overthinks things.
not clutch. Not
Mm.
clutch.
I think he overthinks it. But yeah, I think that was a bad move signing him. He's a good coach, but I don't think he belongs to the big club. I don't think he can handle the pressure and the stress of a big club.
It was
I mean,
a.
there's a reason why he couldn't do it at PSG. And PSG is not even that big of a club. It's the biggest club in Paris, in France. But when you go to like an Arsenal or a Man U or Man City, like any of those big clubs in England, the pressure is on, man. The pressure is on, and England has a lot more big clubs than a lot of other countries.
It was we panicked. That's all it was. We hadn't had a manager since we had to hire a manager since like '95 when we got Wenger. Like, man, Wenger has been standing there on that sideline for the past like 20 years. So we fired him finally, or we let him. He retired or whatever from
Right.
EPL. We let him go out on his own terms. If
Retired.
you want to say that.
You future endeavored him.
Yeah, like, and then we sit here and we're looking around. We're like, all right, well, we haven't had to do this for like 25 years. So like,
Word.
where do we go from here? Like, and the
Growing
first
pains.
that popped out was the PSG fires Unai Emery. We're like, oh, he's available. Let's get him. There's a reason he was fired.
There's a reason.
They didn't give the market a chance. They didn't let other names pop up. Nothing. Like, as soon as somebody was let go, we picked them up. Like, it's like, yo, look around first. Like, I understand it. Like, you saw it. When we got him, how bad was I? Like, how?
Oh,
Like,
you were hot, man.
like,
I started laughing.
You
I
were
couldn't
so
stop
tight.
laughing. I couldn't stop laughing.
like, how bad was I?
You should have kept Winger. Like,
Might as well.
Oh my god.
Shit, you better off calling David Moyes.
we know all about that. Over in Manchester.
For assistant manager, just promote him up to the manager spot. Like, do something. Like,
Just get him off the pitch.
Anybody, you could have waited for like. I would be okay. We got like Henri. Like, do something else. Like, don't go after this guy who got fired. Like, he was given like an unlimited budget. Like, honestly, to be at PSG and be like, listen, we're gonna buy every player in the world that you possibly could want. All you have to do is go out and produce something. And he couldn't produce anything. Like, I don't mean just like he was losing like the French league. He was doing everything. Like, there's like 3 teams in France. There's you, Monaco, and like Lyon half the time. You have to beat.
And even then, even then, Monaco, it depends if they're having a fire sale or not.
Like, if they're selling, it's down here for Monaco. All you gotta do is beat Lyon and like Marseille, like, and he couldn't do it. Like there's no reason you have this team with you have Cavani, you have all these other people, Neymar's and Mbappe's and all these other people you have, and you're coming in like third in France, like, and that's the person that Arsenal wants to bring in. This guy's gonna bring us to the next level. Like, no, he's not. He's like now we're in like
Hey, you're doing better than us.
well, speaking of Arsenal and Man City and Man U, sorry, they have pretty big games this weekend as well because they're playing for the positions in Europa. So right now Arsenal is at 67 in 5th place, and Man U is at 6th. And so Arsenal right now, the way it stands, they're automatically in Europa League group stages, and Man U goes into the qualifiers for Europa League. But there is 1 point difference between both of them, so it could flip. Arsenal is playing at Burnley, and Cardiff City is at Old Trafford. Now, Arsenal is well. Let's be frank. Both teams are hurt right now. They got a lot of injuries going on both sides. So it's a flip on who's going to end up in which position here. what do you guys feel on your chances of your teams getting that automatic group stage qualifier in regards to avoiding being into the Europa League qualifiers?
Go ahead, August.
I'll say this. Based on how the team is presently constructed right now, these players will be playing for a team to go to the Europa League that they will not be playing on next year. All of the players, all of them, have been told that they are not safe by Gunner. So he's coming for everybody.
Except
No
Pogba.
one's safe. Except, well, untouchable, but Jogba. We'll call him Jogba. Because he doesn't. In my opinion, we definitely need to get to kind of like the ways we were playing before, a little bit more aggressive style of football. We've been a little bit, lax in relying on passing, which works when everybody's on the same page. But when the chemistry is as weak as it is, we're making silly mistakes that I've never seen before. I've never seen David De Gea get nutmegged for a goal. I've never seen that before. Have you guys? I mean, so
That's
for
bad.
me, like, I don't know. It's really a toss up. It's really a toss up. Where do you go with this, Joe?
And he wants,
I'm lost.
He wants Alexis Sanchez money too.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I mean, based on the performances that I'm seeing this season, I mean, nobody deserves to get paid. Freeze all their bank accounts; they don't get nothing.
What do you think, Joe? Your team's going to group stage of Europa, or are going to be fighting in the qualifiers?
Well, based off how these last matches are gonna go, like we're gonna go to the qualifiers based on these last couple matches. We're just, again, I feel like we're Liverpool. We're just falling apart. I don't know what happened in the past couple of games. And there's games there's times I get home from work. Feels like I get home from work, I turn the game on and it's just 20th minute, Arsenal down 2-0. I'm like, all right, turn this off. 20 minutes into the game, down 2-0 to I don't even know.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
We both have crippling problems. You guys have injuries, and we have chemistry. It's bad. I mean, it at least you guys have a structure. There may not be the pieces might not be working. They might be crumbling, but you have a structure. We don't have a structure. We have so much infighting and so much conjecture and rumors that the real soccer's not being played. They're already in the off season. They're not thinking about these last few games, in my opinion. So in my opinion, with that mentality, we'll probably be in the qualifiers.
I don't even know what's gonna happen because all right, so you got Aubameyang's already getting pissed off at games because he's coming out too soon, and I mean Lacazette, he's playing his hardest. Then Ozil's gonna have to leave at some point. I don't know when his contract is up. I don't know if we can sell the guy. I don't know what's going on with that. It's either nobody wants to use.
That's a lot of money to eat.
The money,
yeah,
I know.
It is a lot.
Nobody wants to have money, which cripples us more. I mean, like I said, we have some young pieces. We have Iwobi, and he actually had a great season this year. We have Lucas Torreira, he had a great year. Guendouzi had a great year, but to me, it's always our defense. Our defense always sucks. Our back four is always garbage, and it just kills me. I mean, I love Xhaka too. He's another midfielder, but our back four, I don't know what the problem is. Regardless of Mustafi, I believe Mustafi's gone. He sucks anyway. Michelle needs 34, and he's always hurt. Then you got my man. What's his name? Oh, what's this guy's name? Bellerin. Who I love Bellerin, but he takes one wrong step and tears his ACL. He's made of glass. I liked Saeed Kolasinac when we first got him, and now I turn around. This guy's a left back. He's up playing striker between Aubameyang and Lacazette, and then he get hit with a counter, and he's all the way up in the box, and they run down his lane and score a goal, and he's just standing there at midfield like an idiot. Like I don't know. I don't know what our problem is, but we need to just get rid of our whole back line. Like the only person I will hold on to, like at this point, is like Rob Holding. He's like the only person I will hold on to, and that's like in a backup center back role.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
like
Overhaul. That's an overhaul, man.
yeah, it needs to be overhauled. Like everybody needs to go. Our midfielders are solid. Our strikers, like you look on paper and you say Aubameyang and Lacazette, like are your top two strikers. Like everybody's like, damn, that squad's nice. Like, but when your back four sucks, what are you gonna do? Like, you got no defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, none to speak of. And I like our goalie Bernard Leno, but he's just young. That's it. He's just young. He doesn't have the experience on this big a level. So I mean, I think in time he'll develop, and he could be a top class goalkeeper. But I always go back to the point of like, I'd rather just not go to something rather than going there and getting embarrassed. So like, I don't want to go to this qualifier and lose like 5-1 and get kicked out. It's like, what was the point of even going here? Like, and it's just like in the run of games that we've been in right now. It's like, again, sitting here losing games like Crystal Palace 3-1. Like, we couldn't close out Everton and ties 1-1. Like there's no reason to be in the where we are right now. But we've dropped so many points in the last like 3 or 4 matches. It's just like, if y'all gonna play like this, then what's the point? Don't waste people's time. Like,
but look at the bright side. You guys are up on the aggregate goals in the Europa League right now, semifinals against Valencia.
Yeah,
I would put my efforts towards that. That's the one thing I probably would do. We have a chance as long as we can close out Valencia, we'll be in the finals.
But here's a question then. So going with that theory then, do you start your starters this Sunday?
Oh no, I'm not. I'm done. I'm going for broken. I'm going for broken in the Europa League final.
Well,
I'm not gonna risk.
You're not gonna risk it.
I'm not gonna risk getting my starters hurt for this game, and then going to the Europa League, and something happens and we collapse and lose in that, and now we're out of both. Or like, I wouldn't do it. Like, if you could pull off like a tie this Sunday, then I would do that, and that'd be it. I'd probably mix up a little bit.
They play Valencia on Thursday, so if they beat them, if they go into the final, then I could see it. But then it comes the question: do you risk Sunday? Do you risk avoiding the qualifying to go directly into group stage, or do you just say screw it? I'd rather try and win the Europa League and at least win a trophy.
I mean, if you win Europa League, aren't you back in the Champions League?
That's a good question. I don't remember. I don't think so. I can't remember that. Oh man.
I thought Europa was like an automatic qualifier. That's what I thought.
Yeah, because when Man United won the Europa League a couple of years ago, I think we got automatically.
You went back to
one of the groups.
That's what That's what I thought. What it was. That's why I would go for. I just go for broken there. Like, I mean, if I can get like a tie in the last game of EPL and rest most of my people, and then go to the beat Valencia and go to the Europa League Championship and go for broken there and try to win. That's what I would do and get myself automatically back in UCL. But
yeah, they do. They get an automatic bid. They get an automatic qualifier into the group stage.
Yeah. Now, who's the other team in Europa? Like, I know it's us and Valencia, but who's the other teams?
The other side is. Give me a second here.
Because if we, like I said, we could beat Valencia.
It's Chelsea and Frankfurt.
Yeah.
And that first leg was a 1-1 tie.
Yep.
Oh, that makes it more interesting.
The second game is going to be at Stamford Bridge.
Yep.
That's not interesting. Oh man, that's.
Yeah, you guys are going to Spain.
I mean, we're up 3-1, so I'm fine with that. As long as we can close out Valencia, I'm gonna be an Eintracht Frankfurt fan for a game. Tell you that much. Tell you that much. But hey, if the Chelsea still wins, like we beat Chelsea this year in EPL, so
Yeah,
I'll take the chance.
we'll see because Chelsea's another interesting team. Sarri hasn't changed anything of his game plan. His game plan is pretty much easy. You stop Jorginho, you pretty much stop Chelsea, even though they have Hazard. they put so you know, they put so much on Jorginho. It's like you block him, you block all the creativity they have, and EPL coaches, managers have figured it out. You just need the talent to do it. You need the ability to do it. The game, the blueprint is there. You just need the ability to do it. And I think Arsenal in a final, they have the talent to do it, but can Emery actually come up with the game plan?
I mean, it's like last year, man. We faced Man City. We faced Man City 2 games in a row. And I know I think we faced them in an EPL game. We lost like 3-1, and then we faced them in I think it was the community. I think it was the community shield or supporters shield or whatever, FA or whatever. I think it was the championship or the Stibby or something like that. And we lost like 3-0 again. So it was like 2 games back to back against Man City. We gave like 6 goals. But this guy was playing like I think the first game he played like I think he played four people in the back, and then the second time around he played like 3 in the back, and everybody was just like, "What's this guy Emery doing?" Like he's just switching everything up. It just got to the point where he didn't know what else to do. So he was trying anything. But I think we have. I think if we can get, obviously, if we can get either or, we can get Chelsea or Frankfurt in the final. Like I think we have a good chance of winning that, and then we can definitely like. Now, I mean, no, you don't think so?
Not Frankfurt.
Not Frankfurt.
No, Jovic. I think with your deep back line, I think Jovic will cause trouble back there. I think Jovic, because you got to remember Chelsea has no forwards. They have no strikers. Like they have Higuain. Higuain has done jack. They had who else did they have? They had the French guy. What's his name? I can't remember his name. But they've been cycling through strikers because they have nobody there. But now, if you go to Frankfurt, they have Jovic. That was a beast, and your back line is hurting. So I mean, he'll cause you nightmares. So like I honestly think if you want to win Europa, I think playing against Chelsea is your easier path. Frankfurt will give you more trouble.
I think if they can get the ball to him, to Jovic, maybe. But I think the thing is, I think our midfield will just step up against their midfield. And again, I still think Torreira and Gorian Doozy and all of them will still be all right in the midfield. Now if the ball gets to Jovic, then it's different. Then it's a problem. But I mean, hopefully Emery would be able to figure some kind of game plan out to box this man in or something. Hopefully you would really like he's your best player. He's your best player. Like do something there. Like
yeah.
I want a young defender. I want a young guy. I want like somebody that's actually, and I don't mean like somebody that comes from the academy that's like 18 that you have to loan out for.
You know where you need to go? You need to go to the Netherlands. Those boys are young and those boys are real. Ajax, those youngsters that man once they stopped playing that Louis van Gaal ball, man, they started playing real back to that Netherlands soccer that we know and love. That's where you pick from. That's where you pick from. You want a young defender, big and strong.
Ajax will be making a lot of money this offseason. They sold De Jong, Legit's next. I've heard like a bunch of half of the squad's gonna be gone, pretty much.
Yeah, and all they're gonna do is just re-up and get all those kids right back and just keep making the money.
Exactly.
That's all they're gonna do. I'll give those guys like another 2 years, and we're gonna go out and buy one of their defenders or something. They got Tielemans over in Leicester, and I think Leicester said they want to try to buy him full time. But I mean, I think he's. Oh wait, no, I think Leicester went to. I think Tielemans went to Monaco. I think he was loaned from Monaco over to Leicester. I think Leicester wants to buy him full term from Monaco.
Yeah. And
But
Ajax already put the word out that the feelers out. They wanna try and get Martin Ardegaard.
Martin Odegaard,
Yeah.
the forgotten son.
They're like, we're gonna resurrect your career, and they can do it too. They can do it too. He needs it.
Yeah.
He needs it. So now going over to the Champions League. Now we got Barca playing tomorrow, up 3-0 aggregate Liverpool over at Anfield. Like we said earlier, Firmino and Salah are out. Firmino's not match fit ready, and Salah's got that concussion going. Then we have Barca looking not to replicate any of the issues they had before, like against Roma, going up and in second leg just losing. It's going to be an interesting game. I want to make sure, of course, you see this. My problem I have is the concern of Valverde. He rested the starters, which is fine. I'm okay with. The concern I have is if he overthinks and changes the formation, changes the game plan. Of course, we have to get ready because last game it was crazy. It was nuts. I was listening to the game while at work. It was a little disturbing what I heard was going on. Liverpool side going to Barca. So they need to flush out the middle. They need to keep them on the toes. They can't give up the ball in the middle at all. Henderson is dangerous for Liverpool. He can cause trouble, and Busquets needs to be on his toes. Messi, he caused havoc on them, man. There's word out there that there's a video where you can hear Virgil calling for help. He's calling for help. So I'm like, that's not a good look, man. That's not a good look. Like, I know it's Messi and all, but that's not a good look, man. It's not a good look. I know it's the best player in the world. That's the GOAT, but you gotta figure it out. You gotta.
I mean, I'm just looking at that leg right now, and like ball passes, pass accuracy, duels, dribble success, cards. It's all even, but you just when it's even like this, you know who's gonna who should come out on top, and it's probably going to be a team that has one of the best players, the best player in the world. That's my opinion. It's too even for you to say that Liverpool doesn't have a chance to come back, but that's an uphill battle, especially without Salah and Firmino not playing. So I wonder what Klopp's going to do, what lineup he's going to put out.
Yeah,
it's got to be one that can withstand that force.
Well, it was like we said earlier. You got Daniel Sturridge there. Why does he start?
He might be starting this game.
You got guys in the midfield pushing them up to the front. So I don't know what the point of that is if you got forwards on the bench that are healthy. I mean, I get it. They haven't played, but you need all hands on deck, and they're there for a reason. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, hey, you don't want to start them? That's not my problem.
You don't want to win. Hey, you got at this point, it's like it's all or nothing. We're down to the wire here. You gotta be in it to win it.
Mm-hmm.
Use everyone.
Sturge is done, man. He's gonna play, but he's not gonna do anything, in my opinion. And he's played his last game for Liverpool anyway. He's gonna get sold. I don't know where he's gonna go, but I wouldn't buy that. Sold. He's gonna get sold. Like he's done nothing over there, man. He's gonna be playing for like Nottingham Forest or something like that next year. He's not gonna be playing in EPL or anything. I don't see it. If he is, it's gonna be for like whatever team comes up from the championships. Somebody's gonna buy him. Like
this like, just in. Daniel Sturridge to the MLS Red Bulls.
He's way too young. He still actually has potential. He's not. We want
He's not
34
there
and over.
yet.
We want 30 and over. That's what we want.
You want Wright Phillips age.
That's
He's
what we want.
29. He's 29. He's still too young.
He's still too young. When you're about 33, you talk to us. You want a 29-year-old. Who's coming up next year? It's like Norwich City's coming up. Like Norwich City, something like that. Maybe Aston Villa comes up and they buy him for like $7 million. Like,
yeah.
And he could be the starter there. He can play all he wants there. He will be the
Right
starting strike on
sunset.
Aston Villa. There you go. To me, he I don't know what happened to him anyway. He had like one good season and then he just like died. I don't know. I don't know what happened to that guy.
I think he had a knee injury. So it seems like he hasn't come back from it fully yet. It just hasn't been the same since.
Mm.
Yeah, I think he had a knee injury. Cause I remember him and Sterling up front. That was
Yeah.
nasty.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Him and Sterling and Liverpool were killing it. And then like Sterling
and
got
Suarez.
better and
Yep.
didn't. That's what happened.
That is true.
What's the other guy they had? They had another dude too. It was Sturridge. It was Sterling. It was somebody else they had too. I forgot who it was. They had somebody else and they sold him. I can't remember his name. But I don't know. I mean, as far as the Champions League tomorrow, I think as long as Barca, like you said, I think as long as we can control the ball, maybe put in a goal or two, I think we should be fine. We should be in good shape. I don't see, especially again with Salah and Firmino out probably. I don't see them ripping off 3 or 4 goals on us. I think as long as we can hold on to the ball and not make stupid or silly mistakes, put up a goal, maybe 2, and lock it down, we should be fine. Again, so like you said, like as long as Valverde doesn't like overthink it and try to sit everybody and do something stupid, I don't know what he could possibly like. I don't know what you could possibly do to change it from the first game to this one that you would ruin it that much. Like, I don't know. That's why I couldn't be a soccer manager because I would literally look at the same lineup and be like, all right, we'll do the same thing as the first game. Like, if it ain't broke, why am I changing it? Like, I couldn't be a manager. Like, I'm too simple. Like, I'd be like, this worked the first game. Do the same thing. Like, like, and
Until
they'd be
they
like,
stop us.
yeah, exactly. Until they
Like-
stop us, just do the same thing. Like, go out there and score goals and don't give up any. Like, that's simple, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's not like I don't know. I'm not good enough to be a soccer manager. Like, I couldn't do it. Like if they're asking for like on-field adjustments, I'd be like, what did you do the first game? What did you do in the 50 minutes, the first game? Do that again. Like, he's going too high up the field. Step over there. I don't know. Do this. Like, come on, fix it. Like at this point, I shouldn't even have to. If I'm a manager of Barca, I shouldn't even have to do all that. Like, between like
It's almost
Messi,
yeah. You're right.
and PK on the field, it's like y'all three could figure it out. Like, like
Y'all captains. Like
yeah, I've been there long enough. I know what to do. Like, y'all know each other better than I know y'all. Like, come on, just figure it out. Like, Messi,
y'all were here before me. Like
yeah, exactly. Like, I've been on the sideline 1 season. You've been there like 12 years. Like, figure it out. Like, so, but I mean, I think we should be fine. I don't. Again, I'm not trying to crap on Liverpool or anything.
At this point, it's just like they have it in the bag. Just don't take any injuries. No one get hurt.
Yeah.
And Barca pretty much. I think they can pretty much walk to the championship.
Yeah,
through the championship.
Well, looking Sturridge, he had a hip injury towards the end of the 2014-15 season, and he got surgery then, and he got an injury. He picked up a knee injury in the 2015-16 season that took him out for a month. So I mean, he had some injuries there, but that's like we're talking about like 4 years now.
Yeah,
But going back to Barca, Dembele's out for this game. Of course, again the hamstring.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna do, man. This guy's always pulling hamstrings, man.
Man, it's not stretch.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you, man. Need to figure it out. It's gonna cost him. It's gonna cost him.
Yep.
Uh, because you can't. It's either gonna cost you money, your starting job, or playing on big teams because of the fact you can't count on you. I mean, a hamstring injury, depending how bad it is, could take you out for like a month, and that's a month. Is you get a lot could happen in a month in any league for your team. So we'll see what happens. I want Malcolm to start in his place. Hopefully he does. He gets not. I like the kid, and it's just a lot of signings that made no sense, and just a lot of positions are clogged up. But we'll see what happens. Barca should win this game, but we've seen them kind of drop the ball before against Roma
Yeah.
in this position, and on the year before that as well too. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna be an interesting game to watch. Anfield. The big question is if Luis Suarez scores again, will he celebrate? Apparently, the Liverpool fans were upset because he celebrated at Camp Nou when he scored a goal. Like, you know what? He's at home. Barcelona's at home. Get
That's what
over
I'm saying. We're at home.
Like,
Now when he goes to y'all, then it's different. But we're
Yeah.
at home. We're in Camp Nou. Let's celebrate for the Camp Nou fans.
like I get the respect. I get it. But, I mean, the other thing that you remember, the guy was on a drought. He hasn't scored in a while. So,
True.
I mean, it's a tough situation. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So,
he's going to get replaced soon enough. I'm telling you.
no, I think he's going to play for another 2 years with them.
I feel like
2 years?
his. Let's see.
How old is he?
I might say he might stretch to 3.
32?
What?
He might go to 3. He might get to 35.
2 years?
32.
And then call it a day.
Think about it. If they find his replacement, he's going to be back and forth to his replacement next year. And in that second year, he'll probably be coming off the bench. They'll find his replacement this offseason. I'm telling you, they'll find him. Even if they have to go to Brazil to get him.
Yeah, but who do you think the replacement is for him? Is the question.
Well, the thing is, here's the problem I have with Valverde. Valverde doesn't
I think
really
the
give
striker role.
Valverde doesn't give the youngsters that much time to develop and to play, and that's a big issue because now when they were looking at replacement in the last transfer window, all the players they were looking at, they were like the same age as Suarez, if not maybe 2-3 years younger. That's not a permanent solution. That's just the Band-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a permanent solution, you're looking at a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, and then you can have him play for you for a long time. If you get a 29-year-old, you're just adding like a Band-Aid for another extra 2 years. You know, and that's the problem I have with Valverde.
I just don't know any other strikers that we have that are younger that are up and coming. Like everybody, all the people I know are like midfielders and defenders. I don't know if like our 20, 21, 22-year-old kids that are out there, like, you know, forwards and strikers that play the Suarez role. I know we have wingers that are like 20 and 21.
We have Malcolm. He's 22. And
he's like a winger,
but still, he's not even getting playing time.
Oh no.
He's barely getting playing time. Even if you rotate him between Coutinho and Dembele, he's still not getting playing time. Then you have 19-year-old Abel Ruiz on the squad too. He's not getting that much playing time at all. I think he played against Celta, but that was because freaking everybody played against Celta.
It's a whole different starting 11.
Yeah, I did the numbers. I was like, 7 of them I think were non-starters. 7 or 8 were non-starters that played in that game and started. I was like, holy cow! And here's the problem I have. Pretty much deviating a little bit. It's pretty much my problem with Valverde. Because he doesn't play the youngsters, they're going to the market to find Busquets' replacement, to everybody else's replacement. But yet, the funny thing is, Busquets' replacement is right there already, and Oriel Busquets. He's there. Why find somebody else? You got the kid right there already. You built the kid. and that's the problem because Valverde doesn't want to play with youngsters. You know, he
Bills.
wants no, he's not that kind of coach, and that's the problem I had when they signed him. You know, that's why Pep was so important to Barca, and he's so important to any other team that he goes to. He has no problem putting a 19-year-old kid that he believes in on the field and giving him a chance and letting the kid figure it out on the field. You know, because when the kid figures it out on the field, who's going to win? The team is going to win. But when you don't put the kid on the field and you let him sit and rot for like half of the season, and you finally put him in, it's one thing is practice, another thing is game time, game speed, and everything, man. It's not the same. You can practice as full 100% all you want in practice, but when time comes to the game time, it's not the same, man. It's not the same. No. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I Barca should win this game. It's gonna be interesting how he's gonna line them up tomorrow. Then Dembele's out, so we'll see if Malcolm gets that start. On Wednesday, though, it's Tottenham and Ajax.
Yep.
The Cinderella story. Ajax, the one team that nobody thought was going to make it this far. What are your thoughts on that game, Skip?
I mean, that the game I watched, the first leg was pretty telling of a team that doesn't look like they're going anywhere anytime soon. They're going to be hanging around for a while. At this point, going back home, Tottenham's got a tough little game ahead of them right here. I don't really see too much in terms of formation changes for either of the squads. They're both looking pretty strong. I don't. Did anybody take a knock? Any injuries? Any major injuries?
No, because Ajax, I think they wrapped up their league already title, so they're not. Yeah, so they're going all 100% full health into this game.
Okay. And one thing I saw Pochettino looking pretty nervous last game. He was shaking his hand a little bit.
Oh, against Ajax?
Against Ajax, yeah. They look like they got under his skin a little bit.
Yeah, it seems from what I keep figuring out is that the managers are looking at game film and they think they got to figure it out, and they're like, oh yeah, we got it, and then when you actually see it up close, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah,
like it's completely different. You're like surprised. It's a different story. What are your feelings, Joe?
I want Ajax to win because I hate Tottenham.
Yes. 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 Agreed.
That's my wrong. I feel though Tottenham would be the easier opponent for Barca in the final. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like bittersweet. Like I would love to see like Ajax blow Tottenham out like 5-0 tomorrow, but then I know that we have Ajax rolling in off of destroying Tottenham in the final, and we have to. I think it'd be a tough game just because all those kids are young and quick, strong, fast, all that. Like, and they're well coached. Obviously, have multiple kids that are like 19, 20, and 22, 23 years old, all a really young squad. They one or two older guys, veterans, but like have an overall young squad in the Champions League final, and it just shows how well coached they are. I'm sure like it's crazy being in the Champions League final at like 20 years old. I feel like that's gonna weigh on a lot of these kids, to see who's really like has the maturity levels, But still, just to be well coached as they are, to even make it this far, let alone be a step away from the Champions League final, it just speaks volumes to the type of team they are and the people that they produce and the manager. But I don't know. Like I said, like I think Ajax should come out and they should win. And like I said, I hope they do. But again, at the same time, I think it will make the road harder for Barca if Barca's to beat Liverpool and move on. So I don't know. It's kind of a double-edged sword for me. Who's Ajax manager? Because we should go get that guy. That guy.
He's doing
It's
it.
Eric Ten Hag. Let me correct myself. They did not wrap up the league. They're still tied with PSV at 80 points. But they have no games until later on after tomorrow or after Wednesday's game. The way I look at it, Tottenham is hurt. They're hurting. Like Kane is out. He has that injury. Aurier's out. I mean, they got a lot of holes, man. I really don't see them pulling this win off, to be honest. I think they were lucky just to lose 1-0 in that first game. From the highlights that I saw, it was just like they were playing catch up. They were trying to just not lose any beyond 1-0. In regards to the final, I actually watching an Ajax final versus Barcelona is going to be a beautiful game, in my opinion. You're going to see a lot of passing, a lot of crisp passing, a lot of pinpoint passing, a lot of players trying to make plays. So with this, I think this will be Ajax's only opportunity because I doubt this team that we're looking at now of Ajax, I doubt they'll be there next year. If they are, they're going to be missing a lot of key components. De Jong already signed with Barca for next season. De Ligt is pretty much negotiating contracts. See where he's going to go. There have been rumors for like a bunch of players already who's being sold to where. So I doubt this team's gonna be intact when next season comes around. So this is their one chance right now at the moment to win it. And if they do, it's one of those you can't really say lightning in a bottle because it's the team is very talented. They're young kids, you know. In regards to pressure, if they do get to the finals, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I mean, you look at these guys and there's everybody keeps saying it. You know, you think that you figure the pressure will get on them, but they just play like nothing. Like they've been there before, like they have it, or they just don't care about it. You know, they just don't think about it, and it's just whatever. So I really wouldn't put it past them actually beating Barca because they have the youth on their side and the speed. That's been Barca's problem a lot playing against speedy teams because Barca has age on them. Let's not lie now. We're kind of old. We're kind of old. So Ajax will give us trouble. But Tottenham to pull this win off has to catch lightning in the bottom themselves with all these injuries. You know, I doubt they're gonna win easily. They have to pull a rabbit out the hat. Yeah. Pochettino is gonna try and figure it out. But like you said, Skip, if that boy was shaking on the sidelines, that's not a good look. Yeah. That is not a good look.
No.
But we're gonna find out Wednesday. You know, 2 more days. But now on to the rumors going around here now. So going to the Ligt. Apparently he's been a hot name going on, and the latest team to put an offer on the table out to him was Man U, and they pretty much flat out went £62 million right off the rip.
Because you know how we do.
Unfortunately, though, he was like, "Keep looking, look somewhere else."
Because look, he doesn't want to play with Chris Smalling and Phil Jones.
Oh, I don't want to play with him either.
I mean, I know why the ball went through his legs because it went straight through Phil Jones and Smalling's defense. You know, that's how we do it in Man United. You know, if we can't do it on the field, we do it with our wallets. That's how we roll. It is up to the player to make his own choice. I kind of think that would have been a better fit for a player maybe more suited to kind of taking a quarterback role and a captain role on the defense. A lot of the defenders on Man United now just take their cues from De Gea because he's just kind of just running the defense. But we need a center back or we need a defender who can really kind of take the defense by the horns and own it, because we don't have any help back there right now. The head has no help. So
Y'all probably
anything's better. But 65 mil for him. I mean, us, we overspend, so we could probably get somebody young, 2 young players for half that. But if we do our homework right,
y'all probably gonna get Harry Maguire. Y'all go after him like every year.
yeah, maybe Anderweireld, go after him too.
Man, he's always hurt, and he's like 30 something. I wouldn't even bother with him anymore. Like again, somebody young, somebody younger. Like, I mean, like you said, like Phil Jones and Chris Smalling aren't getting it done. They're both garbage. Like,
Yeah,
they're just y'all had Eric Bailly for like that 1 year, and then
he got hurt too.
yeah, I know.
Mr. Glass, but also, like, Phil Jones hasn't been the same since the leg injury. Like, we sold Daley Blint. He's gone. So we're really kind of, spread thin kind of back there, but we're not really spread thin with anybody, good, I guess. We're kind of just mediocre back there. So when we actually do get countered on and our defense and Jogba doesn't get back, we have a problem. And it's glaring every time we get countered, and we can easily be scored on by a team like, I don't know, Huddersfield, teams that we should be blowing out by 6 goals. We're tying, like it doesn't make any sense, because it starts with your defense, and we don't have any of it.
Like I mean, looking at it was funny, like you mentioned Daley Blint. Daley Blint's on Ajax now, so I mean, helping out with that back four.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now we can get somebody maybe like a Varane or somebody like that. That might be somebody, a big boy like that, who can kind of solidify the center. That would kind of help out a little bit.
That's going to be interesting, because he wants to
Real's
leave.
not letting go of him. Real's not letting go of Varane. They're gonna just give him money.
No.
Come sit down somewhere.
Yeah. He said he wants to leave, so you got to remember, Spain, the player pays for their way, so the team really can't say much.
True.
All the team could say is they'll let him go for such and such money. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But if the player comes up with that money, it's man. These transfer rules per country is crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But Varane says he wants to go. Zidane says he won't let him go. But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens.
He wants to leave because they ain't winning nothing this year. That's why. Like, the 1 year he's been at Real, they ain't winning nothing. They ain't winning the league. They ain't winning nothing over there. So that's the only reason he want to leave.
Nah, what I heard was that he got a little bit of a diva complex.
Oh, sounds familiar.
Meaning I won the World Cup. Yeah, I need to throw out the red carpet. That was
Pogba treatment.
Yeah, he was expecting to get treated better after winning the World Cup with France, and he didn't get that special treatment, so he was a little bit upset.
What sort of treatment you want? What does he want?
It's starting to make sense now. So winning the World Cup is almost like winning the Super Bowl and then going to get a deal from another team in the NFL, kind of like that. You just overvalue, you almost overinflate your value, and I mean, you always have to go back and look at their past history, their resume. Does he deserve, kind of what he's asking for? At the same time, how's he been with his teammates? Is he a problem in the locker room? Those are big things when it comes to contracts.
Well, here's a problem I have with that one. With his point of view is, all right, buddy. Yeah, France was pretty good on defense, but look who you had next to you. You had Umtiti. Look who you had on the sides. I'm like, exactly. You were pretty stacked. It wasn't just you alone, buddy.
Yeah,
it wasn't just you alone.
Yeah,
So, and Umtiti's another issue. I don't. He doesn't want to leave Barca, but I think Barca wants to just get rid of him because of the fact of the knee issue. There were a lot of issues with the knee. Barca wanted him to get surgery, get it over with, and get it fixed so he could come back sooner. He didn't want to do the knee surgery. He wanted to try and go other routes to heal the knee. It didn't work. I'm not sure if he got the surgery yet or not. I have to look into that again. But that was pretty much an issue that was going on between them, and that caused a rift. And for what I've heard, last read is that Barca, because of that, they're trying to get rid of him, which is the reason why they're bringing in. They're going after the Litz hardcore. Part of the reason because he's young, but that's pretty much one of the biggest ones. Is that they just don't want him teaching no more. They're done with him.
I mean, I'd rather keep UTT, and I mean, if we still get Delit, like that's fine. I'd have him and PK, and UTT can sit down and just get the surgery and do what he needs to do to heal himself. Honestly, at this point, I think if you sell, I don't think you can even sell an injured player, but if you do sell an injured player, we're gonna take a hit on him anyway. There's no point in even. To me, there's no point in even trying to like ship him off right now. If you're gonna get the lit, and I mean, I would never sell UTT before I get the lit signature, like Now, if you get the lit, then after that, then you go to UTT and be like, all right, listen, like you see we have the lit, and you see we have, PK. So
what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
PK
has one more year. That's it. He has one more year, and I think this is the reason why.
But Suarez has like. How does Philly have one more year? But Suarez has like 3. What is this? What is this? I'd rather.
How's that work? How's that work? Because all right, so PK is your captain on defense, and he's for the last year or so he screwed up some assignments. Let's be honest. He had some brain farts, some bad ones. I'm just like, wow. So I think he just needs to go off and just into the sunset with Shakira and just have more babies. But I mean, I think this is the reason why they weren't worried about Umtiti, and they just started the Kate Linglet, let him get work in there. Because now if they do sign the Litz, now they have the Litz and they have Linglet, 2 youngsters that can start right off the rip at center back. And Piqué can come in every once in a while, or Piqué can be the starter with one of the youngsters coming in to relieve him every 3rd, 4th game or so. Kind of trying to let him last a little longer. Because here's the problem, man. Here's the problem, Joe. The problem is that they're not rotating a lot of players. So a lot of this is the issue that happened with Valverde for the last couple years or so, because he hasn't rotated players much. A lot of players in the Champions League coming in tired, and that's why I'm happy that we finally sealed the La Liga early, and they got the week off, so now they come into this game fresh, even though we don't need it, but still they're fresh.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's.
I don't know, man. I don't see PK being done after like a year, but I mean, maybe you're right. I don't know. I wouldn't let him. I wouldn't like transfer him or anything. I don't know if he would retire on his own, but I would definitely start. Like if we have delete comes in, and you have him and Linglet, I definitely would start starting them, and then I'd have PK in just like a rotational kind of thing. But I mean, look at how long we had like Mascherano. Like I would have him kind of like that. Like just have him in some type of rotating role. Just have him come in, just be like a little veteran presence that comes in like the 60th or 70th minute or something like that. It just helps, in the game. That's why I wouldn't just like. Now, if he retires on his own, then obviously that's on him. But I wouldn't try to transfer him or release him or let him go or anything. To me, like he's one of those legends of the team. So it's like you let him go out whenever he feels like it.
Yeah. Well, like when I say 1 year, I mean 1 year, 1 good year left. 1 good year left. Suarez has 2 good years left. They're both 32. So
I don't know. Like I'm just more interested. Like again, we have more options on defense. I'm interested to see who we're going to bring in to take Suarez's role over. Like because like again, all I see is a lot of wingers. I don't see anybody that can step into the middle and play that and play that tough striker role actually. So I mean, that would be interesting. I don't know, like you said before, Dembele. I don't see Dembele being here like next year. I think he'll be gone. And honestly, even though I think we should play him, I think they're gonna try to get rid of Malcolm too. Honestly, with like all the 8 midfielders that we have, we're gonna have to move space somewhere. But I think that's good.
I mean, and in my opinion, like I mean, it's a delicate fit because when you have Messi, you have to put somebody with him in that midfield that's like that can play with him, for a full season, and that's hard. You can see, like you just said, Dembele's breaking down because keeping up with him is tough. So you know, finding somebody that can really really set the almost set that balance in that midfield is it's tough to find and to place and especially to place them with the best player in the world is even harder.
The problem is you have to. It's more of learning how to make your runs with Messi.
Yeah.
Than anything. Learning the spaces.
Yep.
That's the problem. And this is a conversation for another day. But that's the problem between Argentina and Barcelona. People don't realize this. But I mean, it's going to be interesting. The midfield is clogged. It's clogged now, and it's going to get clogged again because they're always signing players that they don't need. They're signing youngsters that are going to sit the bench. So we'll see what happens in the transfer window and who they get. But I mean, you got players that are going to leave, like Boateng. He's out. But I'm hearing they're going to keep Vidal.
Hey, who?
They're going to keep Arturo Vidal.
He was underwhelming.
Also pointless.
Underwhelming signing.
You have to be some type of whelming to be underwhelming. Like he wasn't whelming at all. Like,
he wasn't whelming at all.
I don't think he even got a jersey, honestly. Like,
well, he does that dirty work. He does the dirty work. He does that hard. He's like the what's that called? He's your
enforcer.
He's your enforcer, but he also does the hard dirty work, which is fine. But I mean, it's why'd you let Paulinho go?
For real, he was tough.
Yeah.
I prefer Paulinho over Vidal.
Oh, anything. He was tough. Like,
yeah,
he came in. I think he had like 15 goals for us too that year. Like, he came in and killed for us.
Yeah.
And then he saw the dollar signs over in Chinese Super League and caught the first flight. Caught that first flight. Now he'll be playing in MLS next year.
Here's a name for you. Piatek might be getting sold because Milan hasn't made it to the Champions League.
Piatek. Why am I drawing a blank?
AC Milan.
Okay.
Yeah. He might. AC Milan. Apparently, they must have had some kind of agreement in there that if they didn't make the Champions League, he might have to get sold unless it's the money issue with them again.
The Serie A to me is just not as good as it used to be. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's just the past couple of years. I feel like it's honestly just like Juventus' league to lose. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you have like your Napoli, and you have your Lazio and teams like that. But like when I first started paying attention to soccer, it was always like Juventus and AC Milan and Inter Milan and stuff like that. And now it's like Inter and AC both just like, I'm not gonna say they suck, but they're just nowhere near like what they used to be. And I don't really know what the problem is because at least on paper you see names and you're like they're pretty good. At least on paper you figure, but I don't know what the problem is with those two teams. And they have even Perisic, who was supposed to be on Arsenal too. That's another conversation for another day. Arsenal just getting screwed left and right. It's fine. We don't need anybody. Whatever.
Yeah. Piatek, apparently Macy Milan has to balance the books again. That's why Piatek is going to be on sale.
I'm over here just looking at the Barca roster, honestly. I'm just looking at like all the midfielders and all the stuff that we have. It's ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
It's too
9,
many midfielders, man. I'll tell you that right now. It's too many
like
midfielders.
9, 9, not counting De Jong. Like, come on, man. Yeah, is Rafinha even on our team still? He's just hurt again, right?
Yes, he tore his ACL again.
Oh my god. You got Rafinha, you got Puig, you got Sergio Busquets, you got Carlos Elena, you got Rakitic, you got Vidal, you got Arthur Melo, you got Coutinho. Like, it's just, oh, it's just, I don't understand. Like, what do you think you're gonna do with all these people? And are we keeping Rakitic or is he leaving finally? I mean, I like Rakitic, but it's
I
like
don't
every year,
know.
it seems like we're trying to get rid of him.
He's Valverde's favorite. You
Is
know,
he? Because I feel like he didn't play him a lot at the beginning.
no, he had to. I don't know why he felt that one, but apparently, in order to get him to stay, they had to put some kind of like agreement with the minutes that he played. That's why you saw him starting and playing a lot, which was annoying. Um, trust me, I was pissed at that. Um, Rafinha, I like the guy, but I think he just has bad luck at Barca. Like every time he goes on loan, he plays good. When he comes back, he just gets hurt, man. Like he did really good at Inter, and I was like, oh, this is the guy I want. This is the guy I see. This is the guy I know of. When he comes back, poop, tears his ACL. I was like, damn, man, he just needs to go somewhere else, man. It's bad luck for him. It's just bad luck
At
for him.
at this point, we should just sell him. At this point, like just let him go. He's not doing nothing but tearing his knees up trying to play for us. And I'm sure
Yeah,
it's because it's probably like this is probably where he wants to be. It's probably like his dream squad. But like, if every time you touch the grass at Camp Nou, you tear your ACLs, like just go. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Boateng
just
is on
go.
loan from Sassuolo, so he's probably gonna go back there unless they put a option to buy or
Bye.
they're forcing
Yeah.
Barca to buy him. He's going
Bye.
back.
You can go today. You can go. Bye.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting because I mean, you have to open up a spot for what's his name, De Jong. So who's leaving? I mean,
Boateng.
Boateng's going back, and then
one
who
of those
else?
No.
one of those 8 midfielders.
You know, here's the thing with Rakitic: you have to sell him because you need to make money while the money's there.
Yeah.
I mean, he is not getting any younger, and I think he's like in his almost mid-30s.
I just look. I'm
Oh no,
looking
he's
at his face
31.
now.
He's 31. He
Yeah.
just he just turned 31 in March. I mean, how much are you gonna push more for this guy? I mean, you're just holding the youngsters back at this point now, and that's the problem I have. Like,
Yeah, I mean, and there's a quote as there's a quote from him not even about a week ago saying he doesn't want to leave Barca. And he says he hopes that Valverde he says he hopes Valverde feels the same way. So I don't know, but they're talking about he needs a contract renewal. He said from what I'm reading.
mhm.
I don't know if he's gonna get it or not, but I don't know.
And
Like
then we
I
got
like him. I like.
yeah, and don't forget the players we have on loan too.
Yeah,
Your favorite Andre Gomes.
they need to sell him. Just sell him to Everton full time. Just keep him. Like, give us like 25, 30 mil. You can have him.
No, I think they do like him. I think they're gonna pick up the option to buy him.
I think so too because he's been starting over like the whole rest of the season since he got to Everton. He
Hmm
can stay his ass over there. Go ahead. Go ahead. We're not
They've been
missing
happy
you.
with him. I don't think he was. See, here's the thing with Barca is you have to be able to play under that pressure, and it's a lot of
Yep.
pressure. And some players just can't. Unfortunately, they just can't. It is what it is, and it happens. It happens to any. It can happen to anybody. Anybody. You know.
Right.
He's coming back. Auditor, and I think it's coming. No, he's out. No, he's out on loan till 2020.
I don't know why he's even there either. Like, just go. Like, I don't know. I hate that we buy. I hate that like we see these people and we just buy them because they like I don't even know what it is. Like it's like they play like one good game and we feel like we have to buy them.
No,
Like,
the
like
problem I think was with him and Gomez was weaken the opposition,
Exactly.
which
Buy
annoyed
them
the
yeah,
so no one
crap out
else
of me
does.
yeah,
because
it's like
we pulled them from Atletico.
that's what that's what Arsenal. I mean, that's what what's the name? That's what your
Man.
man, you boys do.
Yep.
We did that with Arda Turan, pulled him from Atletico. We pulled Dennis Suarez from I think Villarreal, and we pulled Andre Gomes from Valencia.
So we'll take Pogba from Man U.
I mean,
Nope,
Jogba.
he could stay there.
Jogba.
He could stay
Nah,
with
You
his
can
leopard
have him.
hair.
Yeah,
we'll give
just
you
give
like
us
we'll give you like
250 mil. You
no
know.
no. I'll give
Yeah.
you like a tenth of that. I'll give you 25.
and, and we'll dab on that, you know. And
Oh,
It'll be like your
and
boy.
that's for the rest.
It'll be like your boy Delete, whatever you want to call. I don't know what his name is.
the Litz, I
Yeah,
think
Yeah.
pronounce it.
you're 60 million. Yeah.
Hey,
I wish I could have saw that on.
we,
Keep
we,
it
we
moving.
shot our shot, man.
I,
We shot our shot. You
did
know.
you though?
Yeah.
Did you?
Well, oh, we did. Oh, we did. We did.
I wish I could have saw that. He's like, we're offering you 60 mil, and
Keep a
and
stepping. Keep a stepping.
yeah,
that's just to talk to me, right?
yeah. That's just text my call. Text my
Yeah,
phone.
exactly.
Man, I
Uh,
need a. You're gonna give me like half of Man U? Like, what you gonna do? I need to stake in the company. I need
That's what I'm
something.
saying, man. Right? Like, we're trying to build back something, some sort of semblance of, because we haven't had it since Ferguson left. Like we don't have an identity, and we make decisions. We give Mourinho free reign, and like, for what it's worth, I mean, he had a better record than Gunner right now. I'll tell you that. Jose was parking the bus, but we were at least tying.
You. Hell, man,
You know,
y'all can't be
at
trading
this
on
point,
boy Holly Gunner and Solskjaer already. Like,
no, I'm just saying he had a better. All I'm saying is that he had a better record than Jose. I'm saying Jose. Excuse me, Jose had a better record than Ole. That's all I'm saying. I'm not
I'm
saying who's a
just
better coach before our team. I mean, Ole's definitely better.
didn't y'all come in and rip off like 10 straight wins or something like that with him?
well, they had to
Hey,
because you
yeah,
have to think about it.
we kind of had to.
Mourinho was fired, right? The whole issue was okay. Is the issue between the coach or the players? If they fired Mourinho, right, he's gone. Bye. If the players didn't win anything, then it would have been down like, oh, it wasn't the coach, it was the players
It
the
was the
whole time.
players, and then they would have got sold.
Yeah,
So
which
they
is
were
what's
playing
going to
with their
happen now.
lives.
I think
It
now.
Yep.
wasn't
I
gonna
think now
happen
they figured
anyway.
out it's the players.
Yep. Yep. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, Jose did his job. He brought us, some riches, and it didn't work. And I guess we'll see kind of what upper management wants to do, moving forward. Hopefully they let Ole kind of stay on and kind of like ride this just this wave. But you know, I just don't know what players want to come to us. After all the things that it's been going on in the news and what the rumors have been coming out of Manchester, it's crazy. You know, 60 mil, and you say no to 60 mil. I mean, that sets the table for anything less than that for players to just laugh in our faces. You know, so
Well,
I don't know. I don't know.
like they had to fire Mourinho because I've heard rumors before they fired him that there were players that didn't want to resign and stay on the team if he was still the coach. And we're talking about players with contracts coming up either at the end of the season or next season. They were already
Okay.
we're talking about Rashford, and then we're talking the youngsters. They were saying they weren't
Okay.
going to resign or extend a contract if Mourinho was still there. So
Gotcha.
they were looking at keeping the youngsters and resigning some players
Mm-hmm.
and firing Mourinho. But I mean, you can say all you want, you can do all you want. At the end of the day,
Got to win
the
games.
players They gotta win.
Yeah.
They gotta win.
Hey, how much y'all want for Rashford? How much
Look,
y'all want for?
look, Joe.
I'll take him up here. Let's make this package 40 mil for Pogba and Rashford.
I think
we'll take.
I think the biggest mistake y'all made was going after Sanchez.
Yeah, that was pointless.
Y'all got
That
fleeced.
was pointless. Like,
How many
thanks for that, Joe.
how many games how many games did he play for y'all? 2?
Maybe I think like 3 or 4. Yeah, somewhere around there.
Oh.
First round of
You can here. If you take Smalling, Jones, and Lukaku,
Nope.
you got to give us Aubameyang, and we'll give you your pick of Marshall, excuse me, Rashford, and we'll throw, I don't know, Anderson Herrera in there.
You saw about Verdi. You saw about Verdi said he wanted Ander Herrera, right, Paul?
I'm sorry, say it again.
He said, Valverde was saying that he wanted Ander Herrera. He was trying to make him like one of his priority people that he goes and gets.
Why? Why?
I read that too long ago. He said he was like one of his priority people he wants next window is Ander Herrera.
I'd rather keep Rakitic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'd rather keep Rakitic. You're talking about
yeah.
Ander Herrera is 29, Rakitic is 31. Usually, when a player comes to Barca, it takes them at least a year to figure it out to play in that system. You know, no. By the time he figures it out, he's 30.
Yeah.
Nah.
Would probably make 3 good years barring any injury.
Barring
and
any
that
injury.
puts you at what, 33, 34? Yeah, you're it's a wash at that point.
Yeah. No. That's the problem I have with Valverde. I don't know where his head is at. You have all this money. You have a war chest with Barcelona, and you're thinking, what? Like, this is why I say I don't think he develops young players. I don't think he develops young players, and that's a problem. That's a problem you cannot have at clubs like Barcelona that have an academy that can feed into your system. You can't have a coach that will not give youngsters a chance to play. And that's what hurt Real Madrid as well, which we're seeing now because they never gave much youngsters playing time. That's what Zizou did for them, was he helped them because he gave the youngsters playing time. Isco, who's that other kid that I like? Dang it, skipping my head now.
Real?
Yeah. Asensio. He gave Asensio a chance too. And that boy was balling. It's just the problem with Real was when they hired the coach Lopetegui, he was the wrong coach because the system did not match the players. Now, if Barca had hired him, it'd be a different story. I think he'd fit perfectly for Barca. So if Barca looks to get rid of Valverde, that should be the first thing they call.
I think they had the other kid too, Mariano. I think he is Real. I actually really liked him too.
He got hurt.
Yeah, I know.
When they signed him back, I was like, "Wow, that's gonna be big." Then he got hurt. I was like, "Oh, that sucks. That sucks."
I liked him. I forgot where I saw him play, but
he was in France. He was in France last year.
There was some team. I think it was like a preseason game or something like that, where they were just having a whole bunch of the youngsters play. And he was playing, and he was balling in that game. Oh, this kid's really good.
Yeah.
But I just didn't hear anything about him after, so I guess that makes sense. Where did he go in France? Was he like in first division or?
Yeah, I think it was Lille or Loin. I can't remember. He was there. He was in France though. Speaking of France, let's end this with PSG. So what I've heard is that the owners of PSG, Qatari Sports, what's that called? Qatari Sports Investment, are not looking to invest anymore into PSG like they have been. So they're diverting their money and interest into England, and they're interested in buying a team currently in the Championship League. And the rumor is the teams that they have been keeping an eye on are Leeds, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, and Queens Park Rangers. Their thing is they want to buy one of those teams, build them up, and get them into the Premier League. So it's going to be interesting because now also with PSG, they're having issues again with financial fair play, and Angel Di Maria is rumored to be be on the selling block because of this now.
August, go ahead. I'll get my thoughts together.
Isn't there like one of the like Roy Keane? Isn't he coaching one of those teams? One of those teams that's coming up from Champions League.
I have to look at it. I'm not sure. Marcelo Bielsa is coaching Leeds, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. There's a couple of those teams that are going to come up here and make some noise. And those owners aren't sparing any expense. They're spending now. So I in the next couple of years, you would watch out. That bottom table is not going to be the same. It's nice to see Aston Villa coming back in. After a couple years out. We'll see what they do next year. But in terms of PSG, I mean, they wasted their money on Neymar, in my opinion. They overspent for what they got, and now they're kind of just like cutting bait and running, to see what else they can do. But the powers that be in FIFA will, as long as it makes dollars and it'll make sense for everybody. So the fair play rules will probably come into effect, and people will, fans will question it. There'll probably be some talks, but at the end of the day, money talks. So they'll get their team. I don't think it might not be in the next years, but they'll eventually win it. They'll eventually get their team.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
First off, I think
Hulk
PSG
smash.
sucks. Yeah, that too. I think PSG. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say I think PSG sucks. I think they're a terrible team. So I mean, I'll just be honest with it. I will just be honest with
I think they're a terrible team.
Tell us how you feel.
they are one of the, that's not like the laughing stock of soccer. They're a joke. Yeah, that being said, I'm not surprised that people want to move on from them, because when people invest something and they don't get their money back, they call it a failed investment and then move on. So I mean, for what these guys have had in money, like you said, buying Neymar and having Mbappe and having Cavani and having Ibrahimovic and Di Maria and selling RDA and all these people that these guys have bought and sold over the years, like it proves that you can't just go out and buy a team and win championships. You can't buy a championship and lose it. Like it's like Paul, I remember we were talking about it. I heard you posted up in one of the chats we were talking about the Cleveland Browns were trying to buy Gerald McCoy, and you were sitting there talking about yo, this isn't Madden, like like this isn't FIFA manager mode. Like you can't just go off and just drop $100 million on this guy, $100 million on this guy, $100 million on this guy, like and put it all together and go out and just win games 15-0 on rookie. Like it don't work like that. Like so for these guys to sit here and to spend the probably at this point billions of dollars that they spend on players, and they get no investment back. I mean, they get nothing back from it. Like I said before, like they're sitting there coming in like second and third place in their league. Like if you're gonna see if you're spending hundreds of billions of dollars on players, you should be running through your league winning like 7-0. But the fact that you can't buy chemistry, you can't buy that. So you can spend all the money you want and get all the players you want. But at the end of the day, if you had no chemistry, your team just sucks. Your team just sucks. Like, yeah, I'm happy these guys are gonna focus on another league. I just hope they don't ruin these other teams. So if they invest in like the Leeds United or whatever, like great. I like Leeds because I've seen some games from them, But I know you have a lot of players, both veterans and younger. But I feel like they can come up. I know they were in the EPL like a long time ago, but like I think if they get up there, they can actually possibly make some noise to get up here. But I just don't want to see these people that invest in PSG come over here and buy leagues, try to just do the same thing and just stack them hundreds of millions of dollars, and they lose and they don't get anywhere. Like so, I that's what I think. Maybe after these people move on from PSG, maybe it'll actually be better for PSG. Maybe they'll have some talent that they have, and then they'll just have some type of new financial leaders come in, and they build younger players, and they do it the right way, and they build a team up over time, and they get that chemistry, and they start winning stuff more than just coming in first and second in the French league. And that's why I feel like the French league isn't, to me, it's not that good. It's a solid league, but like again, like you have to really just beat like Marseille, Lyon.
Monaco.
Who else?
Monaco, yeah.
Yeah, like you said, if they're not in a down year when they're selling people, like you have 3 or 4 main people that you have to beat in that league. You beat those 3 or 4 main teams in that league, you should win that league. If you're not winning that league with that roster that you have, then you're a joke.
And they lost that last cup to Rennes, and they haven't lost to them in like years.
Oh my god! Like, I can't even name a person on that team. Like, you have no business losing these games, but again,
but
you want to sit here. Go ahead.
It's also like you can really tell which owners and what teams care about the actual level of soccer and the level of sport versus people who are just doing it for a business for a quick check. Like you can't. It's not a get rich quick type of thing. Like when you have a franchise, it's like growing a plant. You got to nurture it. Your chemistry is not something that you can like Joe was saying. Like you can't buy that. You got to build it. You got to break it down. You got to make it. And for this to kind of like continuously happen, I guess for a team like PSG, who you're right doesn't really show out every season. Has big blunders and takes terrible dives. It seems it's bad. It looks bad. It's a bad look for them.
Yeah, they spent 400 million 2 years to buy Mbappe and or over 200 million to buy both Mbappe and Neymar in 2 years. That's just to buy them. We're not talking salary. That's just to buy them. That's almost $500 million on 2 players.
Ridiculous.
Just to buy. So the problem I see with PSG is they will buy a player, they'll pull them in, but they're not worried about how they fit into the system if they do fit. And when you do that, you cause problems. They're trying to pull off like Real Madrid will buy stars and they'll figure it out. You just can't have that either, though. The reason why Real Madrid is different is because of the fact that they have a better coaching system. They get better coaches than PSG has. You had Emery before that. Tuchel's pretty good, but the problem is Tuchel's trying to play in a system that the players are not willing to play.
No.
The players are not willing to play.
He tried that at Dortmund too.
Well, they were successful, and because they were young, they were able to go. But I think it was more of a disagreement between what he wanted to do and what the directors wanted to do, why he got let go. So right there off the bat, because the PSG directors do what they want, whoever's coaching or managing PSG, you just figure it out with what you have, pretty much.
Along for the ride.
Yeah. And I don't think he's gonna last long either, because of the fact you can't be at PSG with all the money they spend on players and not get past the round of 16.
Yeah. Who took him out? Yeah. That's when we were playing well. That's when we were that's when we were balling.
Man, come on. With the reserves. With the reserves.
Oh.
You saw Neymar's jaw?
Neymar's jaw. I saw Verratti's. He's like.
Neymar regret forcing that move from Barca now. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't think that metatarsal healed up properly the way it's supposed to. I think he
Yeah.
came back too early last year. I mean, he
Mm.
tore. Did he tear? It was the same foot that he broke again, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Mm.
Yeah. And once you break that, you got to be careful, man. I think
Yep.
it's how many athletes in different sports have we seen break that metatarsal and it just
Never the
becomes an issue.
same. Yep.
No, never
Oh,
the same.
to stay with Barca, it wouldn't happen.
Yep.
Just saying, it could have been a Barca. Could have been the Champions League final, but
Oh
you
man,
want, you want to lose in around the 16. It's not our problem. You know, I,
yeah,
I'm not worried
yeah.
about him though.
That top three was that front line was dangerous, man. It was
Yeah, it
ridiculous.
was.
They just toying with everybody.
Oh yeah, like there was no reason to leave. Like they could have been great for years, and then even when like Messi started getting older, it could have been more. Neymar could have started coming up, and it could have been more his team than Messi's. But
Mm-hmm.
It was the
Mm-hmm.
father. The father messed it all up.
well,
The father messed it all up for him, and he's doing it again. The father, the all the rumors coming around between Neymar and Real Madrid is all from the father, because he meddles into things. It's like there's no need, man. Just
Mm-hmm.
let the kid play. If he's
Yeah.
happy in Barca, let him stay in Barca. You know, it. They're looking to build a legacy, and I understand that, but you got to let the kid want it, man. If he doesn't want to leave Barca, if he wants to just play there, let him play it out there, man.
I wouldn't even know why you'd even leave Barca. Like I wouldn't even leave Barca for PSG. That's like a step. That's a big step down for me. Like
Well, he wanted
He went for the money.
well, not just that, he wanted to grab a team on his own and say he could win he could win a league title without Messi. He could win a Champions League without Messi. He can win without Messi being there. That's what he wanted, and I understand it. I get it.
Oh, he trying to pull a Kyrie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before
Look
Kyrie,
how that's work. Yeah, look how that's working out for Kyrie.
he tried to pull a Kyrie
We'll
before
see.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
yeah, but like even when you don't deal with the PSG then because they still had Cavani and Ibrahimovic and like they're buying.
No,
You know
I
that,
think didn't
but
Ibra
you know it's
leave
not
that
gonna
year?
be long.
He was on his way out.
Yeah, I
But
thought he
like
left.
but even then, going to PSG, you know you're not gonna be by yourself. You know that's the epitome of a team that's gonna buy all the talent around you. So it's not gonna be like, oh, I led this team to. You didn't need anybody to anything.
Yeah, but you
Like
got to remember who was going to pay that 250 million euros.
nobody
Chinese Super League.
because they're stupid.
Go to
Yeah,
China, they'll pay.
there you go. Go to China yesterday and go play.
Man,
Or maybe the
the
MLS will
offers
pay.
they threw out. Yeah, right.
MLS, yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Chinese Super League be throwing out some brash offers,
Neymar would,
man.
No,
Neymar would always
they toned it down. They toned it down because there was one team that got into like some salary issues.
Oh
So
yeah.
they put a salary cap on the Chinese Super League.
Oh, because they got all the money now.
Yeah, they had to put a cap. They had to put like you can't be going crazy because there was like a
Yeah.
team that wasn't paying their players. They never had the money. Somehow they were still
They,
functioning.
they kept it all at the top.
They kept writing IOU checks.
I was like, is that team that spent like 80 million on Paulinho or whatever it was, some outrageous amount?
I can't remember, but I was
Probably
watching.
was them.
I was looking. I was like, oh wait, they're making this change in the Chinese Super League. Oh wait, they're putting a cap. Get out. So
Yeah, whatever. He, like you said, whether it was his dad or it was him or whatever, like even if it was his dad at that point, I would have been like, yo, back off. Like I got a good thing here at Barca. Like you see what we're doing here. Like if you really want to go lead a team by yourself, go to a team that's really like that you really have to lead by yourself. Like even if you're gonna go to France, like go to Lyon if you're gonna go to France. Like don't go
Yeah,
to
go
like
to Celtic.
yeah.
well, now you're talking about being in there, the process of a rebuild and a team that doesn't have enough
Yeah,
money. That's gonna be tough, man.
but that's the true sign of a champion. You go from the bottom. You started from the bottom.
Be like Ronaldo. Go be like Ronaldo. Go to Juventus and lead them to the championship.
I mean, they got the
I was
ball.
looking for more challenges. I was looking to be challenged.
The challenge.
So I go to Juventus.
Messi, like me, take the challenge and go to the best team in Serie A by far.
Should
And
go to Lazio. Go to
yeah,
Lazio. You know.
Neymar's gonna go to Man City. Like, be like me, take the challenge, come to Man City.
Right.
Like, oh
Yeah.
my god, joke. What a joke.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know what he's gonna do. I don't know.
There's a lot of issues going on over there apparently too. That's another team we're gonna have to keep an eye on in the summer. I'm already hearing rumblings in Turin already about what may be going on over there. So just to give you guys a teaser, people listening and watching. So Ronaldo put a list out of players that he wants. That's one, and the second one, the last one I heard was that they might be going all in on trying to get Pep Guardiola from Man City, which is going to be interesting because of the fact that they're not happy with Allegri just winning the titles. They're trying to get the Champions League, which is the goal. So we'll see what happens. They're going to have to throw out the bag and more at Pep to get him out of Man City. I doubt he's going to leave it. So, and even if they do, even if somehow they pull that off, honestly, I just don't see Ronaldo fitting in Pep's system. So it's going to be another cluster if you bring in Pep with Ronaldo. He doesn't fit in that system, in my opinion. It's not a good look. We'll see. Again, it's another PSG just throwing money at things, trying to win, but not really paying attention.
Yeah.
So. All right. So any last words, guys, before we end the show, the first episode?
Oh man, that was a great goal by Mr. Vincent Company. Shout out to Vincent Company. That was a cracker right off the foot. That's my that's my last thought. I wanted to talk about that all day. That was a goal, and I mean one of the nicest guys. Apparently, he's a statesman, and you know it's good to see him back on the tally sheet.
No, I got nothing. I'm just ready for the games tomorrow. Honestly, so
Yeah.
that's it. I'm ready for the games. See what happens. I got nothing. I didn't even see the goal. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see that.
You should check it out.
Yeah,
I got the video. I got the video for the highlight. I didn't click it.
It was weird because I saw it and it's like it felt like Leicester didn't think he was like
exactly
kick
that's
it,
why it was
so just
good.
left
They
him
let
alone.
him walk in.
They let him take 2 steps with the ball and he just rifled it in. I was like, really? You don't? I'm like, come on, man. You don't leave a player of that caliber open.
Yeah.
Like you just don't. Even doesn't matter if it was him or not. You just don't leave a player open. You just never.
Exactly.
Know, you know, it is what it is. My parting words for tonight is watch the Champions League game. If we get the final that I'm assuming we're gonna get, which is Ajax and Barca, that will be one final for the ages. So I'm excited. Excuse me. I'm excited to see if we get that final. And with that, I will leave you guys. We will leave you guys. First episode of the Starting 11. We will bring you some more. Until next time. Later.